Yes, you do have to do planning. Yes, you do have to resource your own materials. Yes, you will have massive amount of support.
No, not year one. I don't want to do it.
My thoughts about the first placement is that it was easy in comparison to all my other placements by far.
Oh, goodness me, I'm sweating. Ay, ay, ay.
Welcome back to Primary Teaching with Dom. I feel like the caffeinated classroom with her. She normally has coffee, but inside here I actually have Galaxy hot chocolate. Hello and welcome back to Primary Teaching with Dom. Sorry if you do hear my fan. It's quite hot in this hotel room, and yes, I'm in a hotel room. I'm back in that same hotel room from my last vlog, just for the day, and then I think later on I'm going to be at my friend's house, but you know, to stay over for the night, because I have university on Wednesday. I thought that it would be quite fun, or quite an interesting topic to talk about my first placement on my PGCE. Now that I've gone through everything and I've kind of sat back and relaxed and, well, just about, let's get on to the video. The first time you get into a placement is all exciting, like, oh my goodness me, I can't wait. After being in university for like a month and a bit, you're like, I'm tired of university, I just want to get into school. So the first thing that happened for me is that they sent out a placement list that went on to the blackboard that they call it, and it was just the Excel sheet, spreadsheet, and it literally just listed everyone's names, the year group that you're going to be in, your school, the address and all that. So I was scrolling down, scroll, and I saw my name, and I said to my friend, because I was next to my friend at that time, I said that I don't want to be in year one because my preliminary placement, which is what is 10 days of work, is 10 days of experience in a classroom before you get onto the course. I was in year one and I hated it. I didn't like it, didn't like the teacher. It just wasn't for me. I loved the children, don't get me wrong, the children were amazing, but I couldn't, because I've always been in Key Stage 2, I was in year 6, I was in year 4, and going into year 1, which was much more slower, much more laid back, and especially the teacher telling me, oh, I don't know if I can mark you on this because, you know, do you have the commitment to come in at 7:30 in the morning and leave at 5:30? I said, well, one, I'm on a preliminary course and I was told to come in when the children come in by the head teacher, and two, of course I can, because I know as a teacher you don't just come in at 8:40 or 9 o'clock and then leave at 3:15. Anyway, as I was told by the head teacher to come in when the children leave and leave when the children leave, but that's another story. So I didn't really like it. So when, funny enough, I then looked at the list and I saw year 1. I was
No, not year one. I don't want to do it.
because I've had such a bad experience in my preliminary, I was thinking, oh, this is not going to work out for me. Well, I went with it. You know, you have to. You don't get a choice as a PGCE student. So I went along in year 1, and then it said I was traveling with someone, and I was like, oh, who's this person? So what you had to do, I never met this person before in the course ever in life, so I had to go email them to make sure that we can still meet up and all that. So what I did beforehand is I went to the school. So I drove to the school to see how far it is, where I technically need to go, and so on. So I did that a couple days before. Just excitement. I saw the school, I was thinking, oh my goodness. Because it was just, I'm used to like Victorian buildings, so really big, massive buildings. This building was quite flat. So it was just like one level all the way around. I was thinking, oh my goodness, it was a big, massive field. And I was like, I don't get that in London. So went in on my first day and I met the person for the first time. She was amazing, as you've seen her. You probably haven't seen her, but you definitely heard her in my last vlog. We went there. Now there is a 3 day, you do 3 days first before you do your 5-week placement. So you do 3 weeks where you go in, you meet the teacher, you meet the head teacher, you meet the children, you talk about what they do as a school, what they do, and you kind of sit back and you become that kind of not a TA really, but you become an observer. So you observe for 3 days. You get your timetable sorted for the week after. For your teaching, I did 50% teaching. So you do all of that. You essentially just stay in the class. You be extra hands if needed. and you just watch the class, have a little talk with them and so on. So that's exactly what I did. I was very much nervous because I was like, I had that preconceived idea that I hated year one just because of my experience doing 10 days, and I absolutely dreaded going in all the time. So I was like, but the children wore me down a little bit. And the first thing that I noticed is that they didn't have any tables. They were doing early excellence at this school, and I never heard of early excellence in my life and never been around it. When I did my preliminary, there was always tables. When I went to this school, there was none. So I was like, and it was really play-based. And I was like, oh no, I don't think I can do this actually. I wasn't feeling this at the beginning. Let's give it straight to you, straight Holyfield. I really didn't like it. I didn't like the whole play aspect. I just really wasn't that teacher who liked play. I liked it to be, how do you put it? Formal, so that's it. It was more formal. I love formal classroom, sit down, you do that. So I went in there, I was like, I'm not gonna like this. But for the first 3 days, they were really nice and it was really calm. And then it went to Monday. So now Monday came and you have 5 weeks of 50% teaching. Now I will say that on this 50% teaching, you will have to do 3 observations minimum. Some schools opt for 4 or 5 depending if they feel they need more evidence from you. You do 3 observations, and let's see if I can get it cut off my rod. This lovely record of development. I will actually have a video about the RD because everyone has to do it, and it's something that you have to do to pass the course. So this is one here. This will have your name and everything on there, and this is basically what the observation sheet looks like. They will go over the information about the student to complete, so you got to complete about the lesson and what you plan. So at that point you just say what you're doing, how you meant to do it. The next one is, how does this lesson provide evidence support? So this is where you'll look at your teaching standards. So my one for this lesson, this is my first ever observation by the way, mine was the TS7, which was managing behaviour. So I was looking at managing behaviours especially for this lesson. Now let me tell you about my first observation, shall I? So I had it in science. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to be amazing. This is going to go great for me. You know, I've been a TA, I've done very well. I've gotten children to pass their SATs when they were meant to fail. I did all that. Yeah, amazing. And I think I do have a story time about it. Yes, I do. And I went there and I was like, yeah, it didn't really go that well for me. I mixed up materials and objects and it was just not that good for me. So my placement tutor was like, yeah, we've got a lot of work to do with you. On my next ones though, I actually decided, I said, you know what, I can't have an observation like that. And I did really well in my next 2. I think, how many did I have? I had 3 observations. I had one with my mentor, one with my class teacher and mentor. Then my last one was with my class teacher, mentor and link tutor. A link tutor is basically who you get to talk to, who provides that link between university and school. So I had that and it went really well. The last 2 anyway went really well for me. I will say you also have to have an informal or formal observation on phonics. You have to do that for every single placement. On your first placement, you're just trying to get to know how to teach or get into the fold. So there's not a huge amount of expectation placed upon your head as there is in third placement, which you will see a video about that. But you are required to teach properly. So you do get a pass or fail at the end. This pass or fail is kind of like your final report of your first placement, where they will look at all your teaching standards and they will make general comments about each standard that you have, to pass in order. So all the standards, they'll make a comment, and at the end they will say is unsatisfactory or pass. Now, all of you would like to get passed because that means you go on to the next placement feeling that you passed your essay as well. You'll go on to the next placement all fine and hunky-dory. If you get unsatisfactory, this is where problems lie, because then you have to kind of redo that whole placement again, and you can't redo it for the second placement because your second placement is the consecutive. Would I say that your first placement is difficult? It is not difficult in terms of the expectation that is placed on you at all. However, it's hard in terms of yourself, because you know that you want to pass, and in the midst of that you also got an essay that you have to do on top of passing your observations.
Oh my goodness me, I'm sweating. Ay, ay, ay.
They say when you have something hot and it's hot outside that you get cooler. As a STEM ambassador, I really think that was a stupid question. My thoughts about the first placement is that it was easy in comparison to all my other placements by far. So new to it, and you're kind of excited to get in there, and you're excited to get in there one, which is amazing. But by the end, you're just like, I want to get out. And that level of, oh, I'm teaching this class now, can be quite daunting. Having 30 children look at you that you're new, so they don't know who you are, and 2, you're new to the school, new to the area, never really been there for the majority of you, and 3, that you actually have to teach them lessons, that you have to plan as well, can be quite hard and difficult. And if you really keep strong and just know that you can do it, you will pass very well like I did. Yes, you do have to do planning. Yes, you do have to resource your own materials. Yes, you will have massive amount of support. 4, you're not alone. Talk to the people that are on your course, if you doing that, or people that are in your school, because some of you are lucky enough to have people that are on a PGCE with you in the school or schools direct. And 5, there are Facebook groups out there that help along, that do talk about their experiences, that can help you. Do not feel that you are alone. Your first placement is just 5 weeks on a PGCE course. It goes like that. It goes so quickly. You do have a mentor, a link tutor that can help you. For some schools, I know that didn't get that support, but that's neither here nor there. But it will be fine. Your first placement is, when you look back, is your easiest one, but when you're in it, it's quite hard. But you'll be fine. Just keep relaxed. Know that you have 3 observations, possibly 4, and you'll be all groovy. So that is my first placement, actually. There wasn't really much to it. It's just 5 weeks. I went there. The travel was not so nice, but I had someone there to support me, and it was all good. So yeah, I do hope that was kind of helpful. Mumbo jumbo, it really was just me randomly getting up and making a video. But I'm just feeling back to the days when I used to do it. It's quite fun. But I think I've covered everything to do your first placement. It will be fine. Trust me, it'll be all good. So I'll be making a video about second placement and definitely third placement. That's not third. Third placement. So yeah, I do hope that you have a good day. Wonderful morning. I'm going to enjoy this Galaxy hot chocolate because it's better than coffee any day. Oh, I can see a dislike. And I do hope you enjoy your day. Alright, bye. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe up here and watch my 2 previous videos down here. And I really do hope you have a great day, and I'm going to have a great day myself. Until then, bye.